You may love them, glorify or hate them, but there's one thing you just can't do, and that is to ignore them. Because their ads are freaking everywhere.
Every time you pay your credit card bills on CRED, you earn CRED coins.
Oh, betting thake liye chote.
Come man, come, you come.
तुझे मैं स्टार बनाऊंगा नीरज।
इंदिरानगर का गूंडा हूँ मैं।
The CRED bounty खेलो baby, the CRED bounty खेलो, खेलो।
CRED is the brainchild of Kunal Shah and is one of the biggest fintech startups in India, almost valued at $6.4 billion US. But today we aren't going to talk about valuation, but rather something that's more closer to my heart, and that is design. Hi, my name is Jonah and welcome to Perspectives. For those of you who don't know, CRED is a members-only credit card bill payment platform that rewards its members for clearing their credit card bills on time. CRED members get access to exclusive rewards and experiences from premier brands for clearing their credit card bills. What I mean by a members-only app is that not everyone gets access to CRED by just downloading the app. You need to have a credit card and have a minimum credit score of 750 to even be a part of CRED.
Now, here's the fun part. Not everybody gets to become a member of CRED. Only those with a credit score of 750 and above get to join, which means every member of CRED is good for their money. Welcome to CRED.
This means CRED is building for the top 3% credit-worthy people in India. The thesis is simple. In a country like India, which has extremely low trust, if you bring in India's most highly trustworthy people under one umbrella, you unlock a pot of gold. As of 2021, CRED has more than 7.5 million members and facilitates about 25% of the credit card bill payments in India. Now that's a huge percentage of people who use CRED. Now how do you make sure that members of such an exclusive app get an experience that no other app in the world can provide? The answer is design and technology. Now you would have heard the quote, never judge a book by its cover. But the truth is, everyone judges a book by its cover, and if someone says they don't, they're probably lying. 2 months ago, Harish, the head of design at CRED, had posted the design manifesto for CRED. And quoting him on it, back in 2018, when we started designing the first ever version of CRED app, we had one single goal: to build the most beautiful digital experience for our members. Something that works efficiently with deep focus on creating moments of delight.
Now, when we talk about, for example, when you talk about marketing, right? Okay, top brand marketing, earlier people used to say Zomato. Second, you talk to anyone about design and you want to give the go-to example, ऐसा वो वाला feel आना चाहिए, पता है वो CRED जैसे feel आना चाहिए. It's a line that I often hear, Harish.
If you've been an early member of CRED, you would have seen all the various iterations that the app has gone through. Until last year, the app had a design style which was called as Neomorphism. Neomorphism is a visual style that plays around with shadows and gradients to mimic a soft, three-dimensional matte finish look. It initially was a design style which came out in concept that you'd see in design websites like Behance and Dribbble. Now, in the design community, using a visual style like Neomorphism for an actual UI project was something of a taboo. Mainly because it has a lot of accessibility issues and using it for a real UI project was considered to be risky. But CRED went and did it anyway. What came out was an app that easily stood out from any other app that was in the market. They did their own modifications to make Neomorphism as practical as possible. In fact, they went ahead and open sourced a full UI framework for their design system for iOS and Android, and it was called Synth. This year, CRED completely revamped their UI to a more brutalist, poppy, yet functional design. This style of design was called Neopop. Neopop is inspired by the philosophy and aesthetic of the Neopop movement, which created a profound impact on the evolution of art. The Neopop movement has roots that go back to the Edo period of Japan, and more recently to the superflat movement started by Takashi Murakami. Neopop artists worked together to democratize high art and present everyday objects in a beautiful way. In a way, the Neopop movement broke the preconceived notions of what art was defined to be.
So what I apply at CRED is different from what I would probably applied at Google, or maybe even what I applied at FreeCharts. At CRED, I think there are 2 to 3 things that we said before we started. Of course, 0 to 1 is always great when you're actually building something ground up. It's always fun. We had a very clear notion of what this product would be. So this is, how do I say it? So we wanted something that would be known for how it looks. It's a very counterintuitive way of actually thinking about products.
You guys thought this, that I want people to go like this looks.
I think I remember saying this. I told Kunal, this shit has to look good. And he said, absolutely.
The design team at CRED perceives the entire app like a huge mall. There are arcades, games, shop, and financial services. This reminds me of a tweet by Elon Musk which he posted a few weeks back. He said, "Don't build moats, build tech trees." When you build a brand, you build trust and loyalty. Now, once you build trust and loyalty, it penetrates through all the offerings that you have today and for any of the offerings which you will give your users tomorrow. For example, Tesla is the automobile company, yet it released its own tequila and it got sold out in a few hours. Apple can go into any business right now, whether it be headsets, phones, laptops, or smartwatches, people would still buy it. For someone who trusts CRED for their credit card bill payments, they'd be comfortable to use any service that CRED will promote and give in the future. While I'm talking about CRED's design, it just doesn't do justice if I don't talk about their Microinteractions. CRED is one of the few Indian companies that is listed on the website of Lottie. Lottie is a file format that allows designers to package beautiful animations in an extremely small file format. A while back, they had posted a thank you video to Lottie for allowing them to build a world-class experience on their app. Everything in the CRED app moves. Nothing is static. Microinteractions give joy and delight to the end user while giving a buttery smooth experience. Now, designing is one thing and bringing it into life with code is another. Now, this is where the synergy of the tech and design team of CRED comes into play. To bring Neopop into life, CRED built their own UI library called Cheesecake Framework, which enables them to bring their art to life. From the words of Ketan Jogani, the head of mobile tech at CRED, the core essence of Cheesecake is a centralized framework that is built to be reusable, backwards compatible, and easily pluggable anywhere with carefully crafted components that run the gamut. From fonts, colors, and spacing to videos, complex motion guidelines, carousels, and more. They went out of the norm and used libraries like OpenGL and SceneKit to leverage the full power of GPUs on your phone, something which was used only in games before. As an entrepreneur, when I talk to other founders, we have always come into this debate of whether you should prioritize for form or function, especially at the initial stages. Now, it's extremely sad that many founders optimize for functionality over design at the initial stages. From a conversation that I had with a founder recently, he said, functionality is of more importance as UX is more of a cherry on the top which comes in the end. But I believe that sometimes founders use this as an excuse to ship shitty products. Now, I come from a belief that founders need to optimize for great design from the very initial stages with a strong tech backbone. And let me tell you why. Good design is something that's both beautiful and it functions and works. From the words of Harish, you can't build ugly and beautify later. Anyone who believes it's okay to build ugly and beautify later does not understand design, the product, or even the customer. At the initial stages, most companies have a technical depth and it is not always possible to optimize for technology. Sometimes the APIs are slow by a few milliseconds, sometimes there are a lot of calculations, and all of this will contribute in giving a tier 2, tier 3 experience to the end user. A great design can give the illusion of being buttery smooth and build a delightful and unforgettable experience for the end user. Something that builds loyalty over time. And above all, it's magnitudes cheaper than optimizing for technology at the initial stages. That was my thoughts on CRED and its design philosophy. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you love this video, don't forget to hit like and the subscribe button. I'll be covering on design, tech, and startups in this channel. And until then, see you next time.